What's up, middies? This is Scary Scouts of Pirates of the Caribbean Film Series here. Captain Simon Perrin here. Good afternoon, everyone. So, today will be November. Today is Monday, November 6th, 2017. So, this been about the wind. This been about the snow and fall of the spring, fall about to the autumn. Well, it's been snowing about for the last one day. I just had about walking the trails to the issues about 95 minutes. So I kept in mind about stop eating too much food on it, the food or drinks. Then I wasn't that hard at that about supposed to be for eating too much there for growing fat. I hope that it'll lose about 5 to 10 pounds. It hopefully is gonna be the different to be maximized to be on adaptation to be the losing weight. Is also gonna be to do is really have to the special to do wear walking shoes while you're walking in the outdoors and out and indoors. Just however, if you get to the homemade gym a day, so. If you guys have the treadmill and elliptical bikers and skippers anytime, so if you had to every day for the exercise as much as what you immerse as you can, there's gonna be about Happy Monday today. This is all I have to gonna need to do. So I have a tell about the story about the Thor Ragnar. So, for the Jane Foster, he tells her from the mention from portrait from the Natalie Portman for first to the second movie, and she absented to the third movie for interesting as she met for the Janes literally for dating before, and he left her behind about the England as she joins them for very hope there for wise for this nicest before and sunny day and this cloudy. Also they're gonna do is really get this started now is really have the co-films make up the behind the scenes. All these films are you talking about? Well, it's a much a good thing. So the movies also be good about for 300 years before it takes about but apparently if I do and annihilations coming out about next year on 2018. This is from the Main's 2018. It's just different about the 10 years later. For now on, I was on all of the people they're living around to about 10 years later. So I was in a 6th grade camp from the Miracle Ranch, and Mr. Trent and John, you never heard of this about for mentions for reasons of a bow and arrow, for rowing boats. His specializations, and she met Mr. Howard Madison and Mrs. McDonald, and so I was for dancing it around what I could. So John asked somehow what is it out about we're talking about. So it's pretty that the great having fun to the activity, and at the same time as much as you worried about the younger kids and the students, is also they have about 360 young peoples and adults as much as you were. If you have 13 years old, and if you have to still in about 9.5 years, just way to go. If you do have it exactly what I met to the 6th grade camp, what I do. So I spent the whole time about for the 6th grade camp for 3 days to spend a night here at about the 3,000 earnings for rewards before it's just not too late. Before it's a good successful for the Ridgecrest Raiders, and including Wildwood Park, and the bullet came from. They have to do about for Verlander and the fur growth. If I don't exactly what I was supposed to do, and as much as you worried about bowling hour do, so I check out for the wallets as much as I can, and if I don't care about very interesting, so Mrs. Curson sometimes they really know about for the good teachers, for she gets has about birth of the little baby. The two children must be in about a good society. It is about the good honor and about how to do reaction and about this great camp every school year. So it's as much as to do about 10 years later. So what I can't do it exactly, but I have to stay over the 3-day night. I was spending a night here about the 4 families, 1 son alone. My friends can do the most about Michael, Kyle, Kale, Logan, Jesse, Stevie, and a lot of guys. So much is very appreciated about my best dudes ever. I just so crazy. So maybe by the 10 years later. So as much as I could about the 6th grade camp to sing along songs like for the theme, it's a lot of the sort of logical to the themes, like in most of you, like a campsite and according to the miracle ranch on the cabin. For no more tents that are allowed here. So slot paddy wagon in. Also we can eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and the snacks in the outside. In the night at the campsite, and according to the history channels. If you don't know as much as you can, so I don't want to shake hands. So apparently, if you don't want to hit us at each other, if I do, it's as much as where you are. And that means how much where you can about 3,000 spend the whole life for 3 days. A whole life, if it does matter about this great camp for 3-day quality. So Ms. Kershaw wanted me to know about for the Ridgecrest Elementary Raiders. She better yet did exactly what has this going on to, it has to be to learn about same time, the same fun. And that's how they go to goods about much of the misfits. And that's how the whole new world. There might be it about the profits and exactly the possessions, and so much very crazy. And this is crazier than the forever to get met before. It's crazy when I went to the 10 year later. So I was grew up about 10 years later. I was 5 feet to 7 inches, and maybe I could about specialization about for the chanted for interesting for the clips every November for the 3rd movie Pirates of the Caribbean at Rolson, and to the Dead Man Telling the Tales, to be exactly to the Orlando Books returns to Will Turner. Keira Knightley returns to Elizabeth Swann. Marty's back for 10 years later. I wish I could. I wish to be friended whatever they got met before. It's just called the Happy Halloween today. It's all I had to heard. This is how I am exactly what I'm supposed to mean to. but that one should be on the YouTube channels, and that becomes 12 years later. And then if I discover it from now on, it doesn't notice it means to, and what makes it think about it 10 years later. So Frankie and Bella, mom and dad, just call me a fat. There's no reason to be harassing me on into my house if nobody calls me fat. And if a reason to call me fat, for I can unfortunately lose it, I could about 250 pounds. How much worried about exercise when I get, and I'm losing I could about 5 pounds to go. So I've been into the working about sitting around to do nothing. It's a whole lot. It sits around to do such times. If people could about half the reason, I can't understand out of the saying. You know, if we do, and they do, if I lied exactly what I'm supposed to mean to, if that is exactly what it's supposed to mean, if it has to gonna do that's the very most of the moment and the very most important, if the cars that came out of the day, if the community outies the access to the day, it should be about Monday or Tuesday, as much as I can. Mrs. Van Soos, what I have to know, and let's see what is going on to. So this is crazy. So 4 years later, and I wasn't in high school, so I hang out with the friends for lunch today on the Commons. So Miss Howard Johnson, Scoochie, McMullen, and Connie, his good security homie, good basketball teamers. Yay, homie. He's still a Seahawks today. Go Wilson. I still have a Go Bears around, and he's off a day until about for Sunday. Maybe Cubs wins, can be world. And question in Instagram, and the Astros has completed from Detroit Tigers to Houston Astros. Kate and Justin have married his brother Ben, and Kate Upton to Justin Verlander was true love's kiss the bride, kiss his wife, kiss her husband, and congratulations to you too. She has to complete it for play Meg for the layover for Alessandra Daddario, plays Kate Jeffries, and Matt Barr as Ryan. I hope again congratulated for all of you at the time, and it's just how it's gonna working on something, you know. Goddamn, that's a how the goddamn mess. So Kate and Justin, happy fun to be married. Everything I could, everything would be for special. If I do about for much as I would, to doing those of what I could. But if I had decided to see about a whole lot to do, a whole lot of whole world, much every time, if a lot of those are having fun, a lot of hundreds of thousands of people are around the celebration, the parade on the Astros to defeat it for the Dodgers. So Justin has joined into the Houston Astros from Detroit Tigers for his MLB baseball players, and his brother Ben, and Lakeland Flying Tigers. He was following him for Justice Brothers. Apparently I get messages from my iPads and my phones, and my especially the computers, and the onliners just does know about Dustin, who he is. You know, I have a specialist. Maybe I just came to look over to the for the posted the pictures of the wedding ceremony of Kate Upton and Justin Verlander, his brother Ben, and his parents, and her brother Justin do gonna be a lover such as to be having fun and spend about an entire life for the 12 years later. So maybe 12 years Justin has about to look over his someone else about the camping world. So in the 9 months later, I have a recognizing about MLB baseball players camping world. If I was to decide to see somehow what has happened there, I just wanted to such as to really know who he is and about, but I has no idea about the same to the same to the not to non-suspicion, vicious or suspect everything. It's gonna be fun any day. So I saw Kate Justin do exercise time, and I felt slow down the much as I can. That's what we're gonna do, guys. That's crazy. That's crazy, mateys. If they have for pictures on Kate Justin, she's very beautiful, and they went into the wedding, have a dance in the party, to socialize. That's gonna be beautiful. Well, that's just kind of about a very crazy thing. You know, this is very happy fun. Very happy to see Kate Verlander. It should be become the child today. You know, she knows about Alex has her Kate Upton's child, and maybe the Justin has his son. And no much the things that Al's son, the Kate Justin does. She haven't heard the baby for next year. Woo! Kate has the baby. Kate has the baby for the next year. Woo! Wow. Wow, man. Very excited to see it on kept this movie optional. Maybe actually he has to do something very much in the moment. To my family somehow what is he doing here? You know. And also the guide is if I get a very appointment here about the 5 or 10 minutes, and while I'm walking just all the way down, all the way straight to the streetway and the avenue. Who knows? It'd be different. But a lot of it be different for the gang, guys. What the hell? Is that I don't know. There should be the dead raccoon anywhere. And someone hit by the car. Holy shit. Someone has to be very careful to the dead raccoons. Oh shit, maybe it's a dead raccoon. And that piece of shit is a dead raccoon hit by the car from last night. They have no idea, just hit by the car. It hit his head. He's dead. It ran across the sidewalk trails to the street, and it's as hard as the hell. Well, let me think. Died definitely dead. The creature is. I don't have very disappointed of it anybody. I don't really. I don't really exactly look at it for the dead raccoon. It's kind of hell is this going on out there. Maybe the raccoons on patrol on the backyard in the house. I just came watch it over in about 2 days ago. I felt like exactly for why hit it by the car. Let me think. If you think they're not allowed to hit by the animal under the traffic in this car, the normal such as idea to hit the deer, if the police investigation, but the things that the hell is it that's going on out there, I don't really think it slows down since it can, but I haven't met. That's really crazy. I have really most crazy that I haven't met before. I have to think what I have to think, don't really do, and somebody knows have to take care of it. And that's how my problem is. Because I messed up. Because it is snowing, the sunning was dry, and so we were supposed to do something most of the moments. If I do, maybe sometimes everything should be alright. Alright. So thank you so much for coming in, guys. So I'm gonna have to keep walking today. So do not forget to subscribe to my content. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Google Vine Cameras, and Google Vine Camera, Twitch, Patreon, live streaming, gaming channels, Juggy Stores for my Juggy Nuggets, and Cock Story Talk, Tumblr, Hangouts. So like the comments in the link in the description, and the friends that recorded to YouTube to actual actors on fansite recorded movies and TV shows like men, women, and children, and kids, and seniors. And if you happen to be watching this, but you still can. And for today is November 6th, 2017, a Monday. My channel list would be and about yours now. So you can watch on my channels. This Pirates of the Caribbean Ties of War gameplay today is on the Verlander Hunting 2. Part 2 is ending now. And the solitary was feel free to be death. And love you, blow kiss. Congratulations, Kato Justin today, and here's the Astros of Detroit Tigers. His brother Ben. Love you. Feel free to death. So don't forget. So keep it regimented.